What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Young Brother of Soul podcast show. And guess what? It is me, your guy, the Young Brother of Soul. First and foremost, what I want to do is I want to give a shout out to the Oak Lane Wildcats cheerleading squad. Of course, my daughter's on that team. But what I really want to say is I definitely want to give a shout out to 6U Cold Blue because they came in first place global champions back to back. They did it last year and they did it again this year. I am so proud of each and every one of you young ladies that was on that team. Keep up the good work. Don't let nothing or nobody stop you. And I also want to give a shout out to 8U's team because they came in second place. So proud of all of y'all. Like I said, keep up the good work. Don't let nothing stop you. And go Wildcats. Oak Lane Wildcats. So proud of y'all. So, I also want to say is, I still want to thank everybody that has been supporting a brother for the Young Brother of Soul podcast show. And not only that, I also, well, as I should say, the Young Brother of Soul, I also cannot wait until I interview more people on the Young Brother Soul podcast show, because I know we're going to definitely have a lot to talk about. Show enough do. Now, on today's episode on the Young Brother Soul podcast show is, what I want to talk about is NFL teams that won the Super Bowl with different quarterbacks and head coaches. Now, yes, I know the Super Bowl is over with. Well, it hasn't been a month yet. But what I still want to do is I want to give y'all a little lesson or a little history of the Super Bowl that a lot of people may or may not picked up on. Now, yes, there are some teams that won Super Bowls with different head coaches and different quarterbacks. But some of them may be the same quarterbacks with different head coaches. But y'all might get what I'm saying as I go on to this list. Now, before I go on with this list, what I would also want to mention is head coach Joe Gibbs of the Washington Redskins is the only head coach to win a Super Bowl with the same team with three different quarterbacks. Super Bowl 17, Joe Theismann, Super Bowl 22, Doug Williams, and Super Bowl 26, Mark Rypien. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry, I couldn't pronounce that name. Forgive me. Mark Rypien, please forgive me if I messed your last name up. So, there's a list of teams, like I said, that have won Super Bowls with different quarterbacks and different head coaches. So, starting on the list of NFL teams that won a Super Bowl with a different quarterback and different head coach is the Green Bay Packers. Now, the Green Bay Packers won Super Bowl 1 and 2 with quarterback Bart Starr and legendary head coach Vince Lombardi. Now, everybody knows that the Vince Lombardi Trophy is named after head coach Vince Lombardi. And not only that, the Packers also won Super Bowl 31 with gunslinger quarterback Brett Favre and head coach Mike Holmgren. They will also win Super Bowl 45 with Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy. Now, that franchise definitely is a historical franchise. And not only that, they also won, I believe, 12 NFL championships, 4 Super Bowls. So yeah, give them their credit. This is definitely a team that won a Super Bowl with different quarterbacks and different head coaches. Ha ha ha. Another team that won a Super Bowl with different quarterbacks and a different head coach is the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs did win Super Bowl 4 against the Minnesota Vikings. They blew out the Vikings, not only that. And their quarterback was Len Dawson, and their head coach was Hank Stram. Yeah, everybody knows that the head coach was Hank Stram because most of the time when you see the Super Bowl 4 highlights, you mostly see Hank Stram. So, yeah. But they will also win Super Bowl 54, 57, and 58 with quarterback Patrick Mahomes and head coach Andy Reid. Now, that is slightly a beginning of a dynasty of the 2020s. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes won 3 Super Bowls, but he did win it with head coach Andy Reid. Now, there are some multiple coaches that coach Super Bowl teams. Well, as I should say, coach more than one team in the Super Bowl, but some of them did not win multiple Super Bowls as a head coach with 2 different teams. No, that has not been done yet. Maybe, I don't know. But on the other hand, another team that won a Super Bowl with a different quarterback and a different head coach, the Baltimore/Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Baltimore Colts won Super Bowl 5 with quarterback Johnny Unitas and head coach Don McCaffrey. It was actually Don McCaffrey's first year as a head coach. Yeah. Believe it or not, I think he is the only... No, he's not the only... Well, he's the first head coach... I don't know, maybe to win a Super Bowl their first year as a head coach. But the Colts would also win Super Bowl 41 with quarterback Peyton Manning and head coach Tony Dungy. They defeated the Chicago Bears. Believe it or not, I actually thought the Bears was going to win that Super Bowl because Devin Hester ran a kick return back, the first kick return in Super Bowl history. That was amazing. And it was in the rain. Yeah, it was in the rain. Another team that won a Super Bowl with different quarterbacks and different head coaches, the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys. Now, the Dallas Cowboys actually won Super Bowl 6 and 12 with Roger Staubach as quarterback and Tom Landry as head coach. They will also win Super Bowl 27 and 28 with quarterback Troy Aikman and head coach Jimmy Johnson. But they will also win Super Bowl 30 with quarterback Troy Aikman and head coach Barry Switzer. Now, this is definitely a franchise that won Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks and 3 different head coaches. And believe it or not, yet this is the Dallas Cowgirls, so don't get me started with this franchise. Yeah, well, I shouldn't say only team. Did I say only team to win? No, they're another team that won Super Bowls with 3 different head coaches and 3 different quarterbacks. Yeah, Dallas Cowgirls. Another team that won a Super Bowl with a different quarterback and a different head coach is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers actually won Super Bowls 9, 10, 13, and 14 with quarterback Terry Bradshaw and head coach Chuck Noll. We all know that the Pittsburgh Steelers were the dynasties in the 1970s. And not only that, they're won back-to-back Super Bowls twice in the 1970s. With that crazy defense, oh my goodness, who could get past that steel curtain defense? And not only that, they will also win Super Bowl 40 with quarterback Ben Roethlisberger and head coach Bill Cowher as they defeated the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 40. But they will also win Super Bowl 43 with Ben Roethlisberger and head coach Mike Tomlin. Now, believe it or not, Mike Tomlin actually won the Super Bowl his second year coaching with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was actually a good game that they put up against the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah. It was a heck of a catch, the game-winning catch by Santonio Holmes. Yeah. Another team that won a Super Bowl with different quarterbacks and different head coach is the Oakland, Los Angeles, Las Vegas Raiders. Now, the Raiders actually won Super Bowl 11 with quarterback Ken Stabler and head coach John Madden as they defeated the Minnesota Vikings. But the Oakland Raiders would win Super Bowl 15 and, well, LA Raiders would win Super Bowl 18. But the Oakland Raiders won Super Bowl 15 with Jim Plunkett and Tom Flores as they defeated my hometown team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, yeah, I wasn't born, but. And they will also defeat the Washington Redskins in Super Bowl 18, 38-9. Well, they were the LA Raiders, of course, because Marcus Allen had that crazy run in the Super Bowl, which everybody still talks about to this day. Yeah, shout out to Marcus Allen, who was a wonderful running back. Another NFL team that won a Super Bowl with a different quarterback and a different head coach is, the San Francisco 49ers. Now, the San Francisco 49ers did win Super Bowls 16, 19, and 23 with quarterback Joe Montana and head coach Bill Walsh. Now, we all know Bill Walsh was the first, as I should say, he started that West Coast offense. And then when he had Joe Montana as quarterback, who made it wonderful, look how many Super Bowls they won. They won 3. But they will also win Super Bowl 24 with quarterback Joe Montana and head coach George Seifert, who won the Super Bowl his first year with the San Francisco 49ers. But they will also win Super Bowl 29 with quarterback Steve Young and George Seifert. Now, everybody knows that Steve Young has 2 Super Bowl rings as a backup, but he will finally win one as a starter. Finally getting the monkey off his back as the 49ers defeated the San Diego Chargers 49-26. And not only that, he set a Super Bowl record for throwing 6 touchdown passes in the Super Bowl. Is that record still holds? I believe it does still hold. Correct me if I'm wrong. Leave a comment. Excuse me. Another NFL team that won a Super Bowl with a different quarterback and a different head coach. The New York Giants, midgets, but Giants, excuse me. Now, the Giants definitely won Super Bowl 21 with quarterback Phil Simms and head coach Bill Parcells as they defeated the Denver Broncos 39-20. But they will also win Super Bowl 25 with quarterback Jeff Hafsteffler and Bill Parcells as they defeated the Buffalo Bills 20-19. But they will also win Super Bowls 42 and 46 with quarterback Eli Manning and head coach Tom Coughlin as they defeated the New England Patriots twice within 4 years. Oh, man. I ain't gonna lie. The first time the Giants beat the Patriots in Super Bowl 42, I was so happy. Then when they did it again in Super Bowl 46, I was even happier. I think we all know why. And a lot of people may have been happy why the Giants defeated the Patriots, but we're going to talk about that a little later. A little later. Another team, NFL team, that won a Super Bowl with a different quarterback and a different head coach is the Denver Broncos. Now, the Broncos actually won Super Bowls 32 and 33 with quarterback John Elway and head coach Mike Shanahan. Believe it or not, John Elway finally won his first Super Bowl in Super Bowl 32 because he'd been to 3 previous Super Bowls and lost all 3 of them. Then again, he would win again in Super Bowl 33 as they defeated the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, John Elway. Shout out to John Elway. He was actually a good quarterback. He's in the Hall of Fame, so yeah, he deserved it. And they will also win Super Bowl 50 as they defeated the Carolina Panthers 24-10. But they won with Peyton Manning and head coach Gary Kubiak. Believe it or not, that defense of the Broncos was phenomenal. So, yeah, the high fly defense, I don't think nobody was getting past them anyway. But, yeah, they won Super Bowl 50. Another NFL team that won a Super Bowl with a different head coach and a different quarterback is, the St. Louis and the LA Rams. Los Angeles Rams, as I should say. Now, the Rams actually won Super Bowl 34 as the St. Louis Rams with quarterback Kurt Warner and head coach Dick Vermeil. They defeated the Tennessee Titans 1 yard short. Remember that. But they will also win Super Bowl 15. Oh, Lord, please forgive me. Super Bowl 56 as the Los Angeles Rams with quarterback Matthew Stafford and head coach Sean McVay. They defeated the Cincinnati Bengals. That was actually a good game, though. That was actually a good game. I believe if Aaron Donald would have never forced that pressure or the sack, as you might as well say, the Bengals definitely would have won the Super Bowl that year. But they didn't. They lost it. So, yeah. And another NFL team that won a Super Bowl with a different head coach and a different quarterback is the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Baltimore Ravens actually won Super Bowl 35 with quarterback Trent Dilfer and head coach Brian Billick. They blew out the New York Giants 34-7 with that crazy defense of the 2000 Ravens. Everybody knows that Ray Lewis was the ultimate leader of that team. But they will also win Super Bowl 47 with quarterback Joe Flacco and head coach John Harbaugh. Now, they defeated the 49ers. Not only that, this was the first Super Bowl to have two head coaches, well, two brothers of head coaches facing against each other. John Harbaugh of the Baltimore Ravens and Jim Harbaugh of the San Francisco 49ers. Now, we already know what happened with that Super Bowl. After halftime, the lights went out, and then, of course, the 49ers almost made a miraculous comeback. But the Ravens found a way to win. And, well, you know what? To be honest with you, it's a lot of controversy in that Super Bowl. So that might be another episode I might do. NFL controversial moments. Trust me. You know what? Then again, I'm going to do another episode about that. But, yeah, the Ravens won 2 Super Bowls with 2 different quarterbacks and 2 different head coaches. Yes, they did. Another team to win a Super Bowl with a different quarterback and a different head coach is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers actually did win Super Bowl 37, as they won Super Bowl 37 with quarterback Brad Johnson and head coach John Gruden, who he would definitely get his revenge against his former team that traded him, which I didn't know you could trade head coaches. The Oakland Raiders. They blew out the Raiders. I ain't gonna lie. It was 48-21. That definitely was a great defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not only that, they had the number 1 defense that year, so I give them that. But they will also win Super Bowl 55 with quarterback Tom Brady and head coach Bruce Arians. Now, before I go on with this, there are 2 quarterbacks in the NFL that won Super Bowls with 2 different teams. Peyton Manning, who won Super Bowl 41 with the Colts and Super Bowl 50 with the Broncos. Tom Brady, who won 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots, Super Bowls 36, 38, 39, 49, 51, and 53. And he will also win Super Bowl 55 his first year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, yeah, those are the only 2 quarterbacks in the NFL that won Super Bowls with 2 different teams. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I did not expect the Buccaneers to win a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. I didn't, but they did. So, yeah. And not only that, they were the first NFL team to host a Super Bowl in their home and win a Super Bowl in their home stadium. Yeah, they did. But the second team was the LA Rams in Super Bowl 56. So those 2 are the only teams in the NFL to ever host the Super Bowl and win it in their home stadium. So they didn't really have to travel far. I mean, they literally right home. They could just go right around the corner, walk, and come back with the parade. So, yeah, those are the only 2 NFL teams that won the Super Bowl in their home turf. Another NFL team that won a Super Bowl with a different quarterback and a different head coach is the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks did win Super Bowls 48. Well, they didn't just win Super Bowl 48. They blew out the Broncos. I never seen a blowout like that a day in my life. They won 43-8. Now, that Seattle Seahawks defense was phenomenal. I mean, the Legion of Doom. Did you know who they had as on their defense? They had Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, Michael Bennett, Chris Clemens. Yeah, they had a heck of a defense, man. Nobody couldn't really get past that defense. So I give them that. But they also did win Super Bowl 60 against the New England Patriots with quarterback Sam Darnold and head coach Mike McDaniel. Not only that they won Super Bowl 60, they actually blew out the Patriots. That was their Super Bowl 49 revenge. I mean, well, we already know what happened with that Super Bowl. That might be another episode too that I might talk about the most craziest plays in Super Bowl history. But like I said, we'll talk about that another time. But another team that won a Super Bowl with a different head coach and a different quarterback. You know I had to say the best for last. My hometown team, the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles did win Super Bowl 52 with quarterback Nick Foles and head coach Doug Peterson. Well, that's our first Super Bowl. I ain't gonna lie, I cried when we won our first Super Bowl as we defeated the New England Patriots 41-33. But we will also win Super Bowl 59 with quarterback Jalen Hurts and head coach Nick Sirianni as we defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 40-22. Now, believe it or not, yes, I'm still hyped because that's my hometown team. And not only that I'm still hyped about that, our two different quarterbacks won MVP. Okay? But there is a total difference. Nick Sirianni is the first head coach in Eagles history, Eagles history, to go to multiple Super Bowls. And Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback in Eagles history to make it to multiple Super Bowls. Lost one, won one. So, like I said in the last episode of the Young Brother Soul, y'all need to put some respect on Jalen's name. He's a winner. Okay? But I also want to talk about is quarterbacks that went to the Super Bowl, lost it, and never went back. As of right now, the quarterbacks that I have on this list is Dan Marino, Super Bowl 19, Stan Humphries, Super Bowl 29, Neil O'Donnell, Super Bowl 30, Drew Bledsoe, Super Bowl 31, Chris Chandler, Super Bowl 33, Steve McNair, Super Bowl 34, Kerry Collins, Super Bowl 35, Rich Gannon, Super Bowl 37, Jake Delhomme, Super Bowl 38, Donovan McNabb, Super Bowl 39, Matt Hasselbeck, Super Bowl 40, Rex Grossman, Super Bowl 41, Colin Kaepernick, Super Bowl 47, Cam Newton, Super Bowl 50, Matt Ryan, Super Bowl 51. Well, we already know what happened with that Super Bowl. I still don't understand that. Lord have mercy. How do you have a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl and you let the Patriots come back? What in the world was going through the Falcons' mind? You don't stop scoring, you keep scoring. And not only that, to be honest with you, the Falcons have not been the same since Super Bowl 51. And it's been over almost 10 years. So, yeah, the Falcons, poor Falcons fans. I know when that happened, I know they were looking at the TV like, what? No way, no way. Yeah, Super Bowl 51. Oh, Lord. That is still talked about to this day. Back to the list. Jared Goff, who's an active quarterback, Super Bowl 53. Jimmy Garoppolo, Super Bowl 54. Joe Burrow, Super Bowl 56, who's also another active quarterback. But another quarterback that I know that has been to the Super Bowl, lost it, Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl 57, as he lost to the Kansas City Chiefs 38-35. But like I said earlier, Jalen Hurts will break that streak. You know why? Because he went back to Super Bowl 59 and he defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 40-22 and won MVP. And not only that he won MVP, the Eagles defense, they had 6 sacks and forced 3 turnovers. compared to Super Bowl 57 with no sacks and no turnovers. So yeah, like I said, put some respect on Jalen Hurts' name. He's a winner. Not only that, he set records in the Super Bowl. He outplayed Mahomes twice in the Super Bowl. And not only that, he has a tremendous record as a quarterback. That's why I say y'all need to put some respect on that man's name. No, seriously, y'all really do need to put some respect on that man's name. He's a good quarterback. I don't care what nobody says. Even some Eagles fans don't like him, but I do. Like I said, he is the only quarterback in Eagles history to make it to multiple Super Bowls. Ron Jaworski lost. That's another quarterback that went to one Super Bowl and lost it. Never went back. Donovan McNabb. Nick Foles won it. And Jalen Hurts. So, yeah, put some respect on Jalen Hurts' name. And you know what? Another thing what I want to talk about Super Bowl history is head coaches that took their team to I shouldn't say this, as I should correct myself. Head coaches that coach more than one team to a Super Bowl. Some won with one teams, some lost. Some even lost with other teams. So, yeah. Don Shula lost Super Bowl 3 with the Baltimore Colts. But he did win Super Bowl 7 with that 1972 Miami Dolphins 17-0. And he will also win Super Bowl 8. And, of course, he lost 2 more Super Bowls after that. But, yeah, he lost Super Bowl 17 and 19 with the Dolphins, though. Another head coach that coached more than one team in the Super Bowl is Bill Parcells. He actually coached the Giants to 2 Super Bowls, Super Bowl 21 and 25, but he also coached the New England Patriots to Super Bowl 31, which he lost. So, yeah. Dan Reeves lost 3 Super Bowls with the Broncos and lost 1 with the Falcons. Andy Reid lost 1 with the Eagles and lost 2 with the Chiefs. Yeah. Dick Vermeil lost Super Bowl 15 with the Eagles, but won Super Bowl 34 with the Rams. Yeah. Mike Holmgren won Super Bowl 31 and lost Super Bowl 32 and 32 with the Packers, and then lost Super Bowl 40 with the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. Excuse me for a sec. So, sorry about that. So, are there any more head coaches in the NFL that you can think of that coach more than one team? Oh, here's another one. John Fox lost Super Bowl 38 with the Panthers and lost Super Bowl 48 with the Broncos. So, yeah. Yeah. Let me stop playing. But yeah, those are your NFL teams that won Super Bowls with different quarterbacks and different head coaches. And these are your quarterback lists that made it to Super Bowls, lost it, and never went back, except one that broke it. And those are your NFL head coaches that coach more than one Super Bowl team to a Super Bowl. Some won one, some lost one, some lost one with this team, some lost one with this team. So yeah, it's possible. It's possible. There is no head coach that won a Super Bowl with 2 different teams. No, it has not been done yet. Will it happen? Who knows? But as of right now, there is no head coach that won a Super Bowl with 2 different teams. But there are 2 quarterbacks that won 2 Super Bowls with different teams. Like I said, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Now, before we go off with this episode, I want everybody to do me a favor. Subscribe, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, hit that notification button, and don't forget to tell all your family and friends to tune in for the Young Brother Soul podcast show. And trust and believe, I did not forget about the ones that want to be interviewed. I cannot wait, because I know we definitely going to have a lot to talk about. And I still want to give a shout out to the Oak Lane Wildcats cheerleading team. Y'all did y'all thing. First place, back-to-back globals, and I cannot wait until the NFL draft. And you know what? I can't wait to see what's going to happen in baseball season. And as of right now, basketball and hockey are out right now. Well, not out. They're playing right now. So I just want to see what the Sixers are going to do. We'll talk about them a little later. And, of course, the Flyers. So, yeah, well. But as of right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the Young Brother of Soul podcast show of this episode. Make sure, like I said earlier, don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, hit that notification, and tell all your family and friends about the Young Brother of Soul podcast show. Don't forget, y'all. Don't forget. No, I'm playing. But seriously, don't forget. Make sure you let everybody know that you know. That I know too. So, yeah. But, once again, thank you and have a good night.